But what we should do is we should flip-flop coasts. We've been talking a lot about the East Coast teams, and now it's probably time to go over to the West Coast because rumors are dropping that a longtime LAFC winger and current record holder for the most goals in a season, Carlos Vela, is heading to San Jose on a DP deal in a shocking move that comes just days after a report surfaced that Vela still hadn't cleaned out his locker from the LAFC facility with hopes of a return. What do you think of the move? If the alleged move, because it hasn't been announced yet.
Uh, quite frankly, not a big fan of it. I think San Jose's starting lineup was already in a good spot. We talked about this in our deep dive, and we talked about this in the season previews. I thought their starting 11 is really strong. Don't think they needed to go and use a DP spot to bring in somebody to fill a position that I feel like they already filled in the offseason with Pellegrino, but they did it anyway. I feel like the focus should have been on getting depth for this team because I think they're really thin. I mean, we're talking about a 35-year-old Vela who, favorite term, wrong side of 30, is only going to get older. His numbers are not where they once were in his early days of LAFC. They were still pretty decent, the last couple of years. I'm not going to say they were bad. He still had 21 goal contributions in 2022 and 16 in 2023. Like, he will still get you goal contributions. I'm sure of it. My question is, partially how much of that was the benefit of the LAFC system? We'll surely find that out because San Jose is not the same system as LAFC. That is a certainty. And what's he going to like? How much does he still have in the tank? I mean, he's 35 at this point. Like, he's getting up there. It's a risky DP move, whereas I feel like they could have sat on it, waited to see until the summer. Let's see if there's a huge hole that you notice in the team that you feel you need to fill, or a key player goes down with an injury. Like Christian Espinosa goes down with a season-ending injury, and you have an open DP spot. Now you can go and like bring somebody in. But or I maybe Espinosa is a bad example because Vela could be that guy to come in. But let's just say it's like uh I don't know, Rodriguez in center back,
Come on,
keeping that
this is a
flexibility.
team that you picked to be elite, and you can't remember one name.
I was just trying to think of somebody outside of the attack, but let's just say he goes down with an injury, right? Like having that flexibility, it's having a DP spot open. Now you can go bring in basically anybody you want to come in and fill that role and keep this team hunting for the playoffs and hunting for trophies and all that. But I don't know off the top of my head if they have any other DP spots open. I can't remember. I'd imagine Espinosa's on one and Vela's obviously on another. And I can't remember if they have a third. Could be Gruezo. I
Right,
can't
so
remember. Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
Chris.
now they're stuck and you lose that flexibility. So I don't think Vela's a bad player, and I'm sure Vela's going to get them 10 plus goal contributions if he gets the game time. But I just I'm not a fan of the move. I think they have other needs that they needed to address first, and I think the flexibility would have been a beneficial thing for them. And I think they should have been a little bit more patient with using that last DP spot.
See, this is why I know ball and you are my co-host because this is a great move. This, yes, he's over 30. He's on the wrong side of 30, but he's one of those over 30s that can still contribute a very good amount. 9 goals, 6 assists last season, second consecutive MLS Cup final. And we did talk about the roster makeup of this side. And what did we talk about in this attacking group? We talked about the fact that they've got a good starting and their depth isn't super great. So I expect Vela to be a starter. But even if he isn't, imagine taking this guy off the bench and being an impact 20, 25-minute guy. I don't think that's going to be the case because I do see him being used in a different way. And we'll talk about it in a little bit. But giving yourself that many options instead of just relying on the Red Bull model of we're going to have a good starting 11. If somebody gets hurt, which kid's up next? That's not the way you want to go about this. I like the move. I think he still has a good amount to give. and he's a different player to what they have. Like Espinoza, really good on the drive. He's very good at going at players, and Jabo very strong in the air. Pellegrino looks to be more of a striker. Vela can be a different type of guy, a creative player, if you will. They don't really have a number 10. I know we talked about Sakaris maybe being that guy, but do you want to roll the dice with Espinoza, Pellegrino, Jabo, and then somebody you're not super confident can create that final pass for them? Or do you want to go with somebody who has shown it for the last 6.5, 7 seasons that he can be that guy? I like the move. I think it's a really good. He's one of the guys that I think if you have an open DP spot and he's looking around, you use it on. I think it's a good move.
I'm sure
So
San Jose fans are not going to like me saying that I don't think it's a good move, but I just think that I mean, we've seen him play in the league for many years, but we've seen him play in one system that is known for its excellent attack. I I I really just am skeptical of what he will look like in a new system because I saw it with Josef Martinez, and it's a little bit of a different situation because he had an injury that he's coming back from, but he was in that super high attacking Atlanta system and he looked amazing. He was putting up the same numbers as Vela. He was scoring at the same even like time frame as Vela. Like it was they were elite at the same time. And then he moves on to Miami and it did not work out at all. Like it was a really bad move for him. He just did not fit well in there. I just wouldn't be shocked to see that happen again here. If Vela moves to San Jose, it's not the same LAFC system. It's going to be something new, and I'm not sure that he's the right piece to put in there.
so out of curiosity, the last person to switch from a high-powered LAFC team to a relatively okay Western Conference team in the
Chicho
attacking.
Aranjo.
Chicho Aranjo, thank you. Chicho Aranjo last season, 6 goals, 1 assist in 764 minutes. This season, he's already got a goal in 176 minutes. Like
Chicho's not
players,
35.
players who can play will play. That's it. Like ballers ball.
Are you
Carlos
saying
Vela,
Yosef's not a baller then?
post injury Yosef, we've gone over it many times. Post injury Yosef was not a baller. 35-year-old healthy Carlos Vela is a baller. Now, the question that I have for you is what role, because I mean, you can come back with whatever argument you want from that. It will be wrong, and we don't need to waste time on giving me bad takes, right? So, how do you think Carlos Vela is used in this system? Is he going to bump somebody to the bench? Is he going to be on the bench? Are they going to change shape? What do you see from this group?
No, you don't bring in a designated player to sit on the bench. He's coming in to be a starter. He's, in my opinion, will be on the wing, probably in place of Kakanovic or Pellegrino, whoever ends up getting that other starting wing spot. And him, Jabo and Espinosa will be the trio of attacking wingers. I know you're going to say he's going to be the number 10 for them because you already kind of hinted at it, but I just don't think that that's his role. I don't think he's necessarily a playmaker. I think he's a goal scorer. I don't think he's the guy that's like a Carlos Heel type of guy that's going to link the attack and make all these things happen. And I don't think he's a bad playmaker, but his numbers weren't exactly like off the charts in terms of like progressive like carries on the ball and passes. Like his passing completion percentage out of attacking mids and wingers was 37th percentile. Like that's you can't have your attacking playmaker in the 37th percentile of passing. Like I just don't think that's his role in the team. I think he will be out on the wing with Espinosa and Abobasi. And then I think that's great. That's a great attacking trio.
Um, yeah, again, this is why you can't just go by numbers with certain players, right?
We're
Because
just going off vibes.
we're going off the way that they play and the way that their game looks. I don't think that he's bumping anybody to the bench. And I agree with you that I don't see this being a DP off the bench type of signing because that's just not something you do. So I agree with you there. What I see is him playing next to Jeremy Abobasi. I see him being a second number 9 with Pellegrino and Espinoza next to each other. And while Jabo either runs in behind or becomes a high target, he's going to fall off underneath. and he's either going to pick up the second ball and make that decisive pass, which he absolutely has the ability to do, or he's going to allow Jabo to be the high target. He's just going to sneak underneath him. They're going to play into Jabo. He's going to lay it off into them, and then he's going to hit Pellegrino. He's going to hit Espinoza in transition there. Now, what that also allows them to do then is if Pellegrino or Espinoza need to come out, he can shift to that role. And when he shifts to that role, then you can bring in somebody like a Sakaris if you want to give him a chance to create, or you can bring in more defensive help and allow him to just kind of be in open space and create a bunch of chances and kind of just take people one-on-one in the late stages of the game from there. There are a lot of things that you can do with this move, and I think it very much will be a two-striker partnership with him being more of a false nine than a true like proper number 9, which is what he did in LAFC, by the way, which is where he got a lot of those goals. So
you think they go 4 in the attack, is what you're saying? Double striker and 2 wingers with Pellegrino and Espinosa.
yeah, so you're really, it'll still stay to be a 4-2-3-1 realistically, with Vela having the freedom to either drop into the 10 or go up to be a proper 9. So that is the way I would have run it if I'm in charge here. And again, I'm not, because I'm just one of those undiscovered talents in the coaching world. But that's the way I would see this happening.
It's an interesting take, I'd say, to say the least. I feel like that's putting a lot of faith in Jackson Ewell, I think, to be your link between the defense and the attack, because somebody's got to be the guy to kind of filter the ball through from the defense to the attack, unless you're saying that Vela's just going to drop that far down to collect the ball and link things up.
How dare you not have faith in our U23 captain Jackson Ewell, center back Jackson Ewell? How dare you? That's Jackson Ewell's best role, is linking the play, in my opinion. Right? Like when they ask him to be the lone 6, he's not that much of a destroyer. They put Gruezo next to him. Now he can link the play. They ask him to be a center back. He's not a center back, right? I think that's his best role. And when you put somebody like Carlos Vela in front of him, it makes his job stupid easy. Pick up the ball and kick it to the good guy. Great. Good job. You did it. Like it's not hard. I could do it if I had the ability to. But my ability is a little bit higher level,
But if you're another team now, like you got to think the mentality is, okay, San Jose gets the ball, you got one guy on the field that you got to pressure, and then the ball's not getting up to the attack, and then San Jose just is kind of stuck there. Like I think Ewell's a pretty good passer. Just like looking at the numbers from last year, he ranked really well in the passing game, but in terms of his like carries and his take ons and his touches, like he's low. He's not great. He's a little bit below average, and so that to me says if this guy gets the ball, just surround him as like fast as you can, and then the attack's not getting the ball.
Yeah, that's a lot easier said than done, right? Like the transition from attack to defense with that much focus and intensity is something you need to train for forever. Red Bull will do that well, but Red Bull don't play against them. The team that'll succeed the most in doing that is St. Louis, right? Because that's Bradley Cardinals Red Bull Jr., right? But other teams who don't high press as frequently will struggle with that, and that's going to give them openings and spaces, right? And the other outside part is, right, like it's not just those front 7; those wing players are very, very strong. The center backs are good in possession. Like it's a good group. So I love the signing. I think that if you want to get all of them on together, you do that, and that's one way you can do that. But I want to know. I had San Jose missing the playoffs. You had them in the playing game. Does this signing change any of that for you?
I got San Jose 8th, like you said, playing game. I think they're comfortably ahead of the teams, in my opinion, that are behind them in my standings. I don't think I mean, obviously, I don't think adding Carlos Vela is going to put them in a situation where they fall below the teams below them. But in terms of them moving up, I honestly don't see them moving much further up. I think maybe with the addition of Vela, they could jump up to seventh and get out of the play-in game and just straight into the playoffs. But I don't see them skyrocketing up like the Western Conference. I don't see them being like top five now because they brought in Vela.
I will agree with that. I don't see them jumping all the way, into a home playoff game per se. Um, but I can see them jump kind of to where you have them now, like that 8, 9, maybe even 7 range. The bottom of the West is not as strong as, and we've talked about this. It's not super duper strong, right? A signing like Carlos Vela, no matter how you use him, can be a difference in 5 games this season between being 0 points or 1 point or 1 point to 3 points. Those differences will jump you spots to get you either into the playoffs, out of the play-in game, that sort of move. And that's kind of what I see happening with this team. I can see it less of, oh my God, this is going to be the best team in the West now, and more of a, hey, we've got a difference maker that can go and change the game on his own and win us a point or win us 2 points. That'll jump us a spot, right? Or separate the distance between us and the guy below us, right? That's kind of where I see this signing putting them, which means they're probably going to finish top of the West, based off of the way I
Or
predict.
bottom, top or bottom.
Based off of the way I predict stuff, right?
Yeah, maybe I should change mine actually. Now that you said that, now that you said it's gonna be around where I think they'll be. Can you actually just change yours? Can you say that they're gonna finish top?
Oh man. All right. That's Carlos Vela to San Jose. We've got one more section here we want to chat about. As we mentioned,